Isaac, let's go ahead and take a look at your week 1 workbook exercises. Pretty nice job. I'm pretty impressed. This is, week 1 pre-instruction, and we have a good sense of, identity here, and I think that this looks quite individualized. We're a bit out of proportion on, some of our features, but that's okay. That's kind of to be expected during this first week, but I like that you're starting to pay attention to detail, that you're thinking about, the facial hair and the shape of the eyebrows. You're starting to get a sense of a little bit of shading here and there, under the eyes. That's going to give the face a little more sense of depth and dimension, around the neck. So we want to start thinking of how, proportions relate to each other and how shapes relate to each other. It's easy to start to think of these as all being these individual shapes, but really start to think of them as being part of this cohesive whole that is the face. So, start to look at where your eyes really are in alignment to your ears, and, the shape of your nose and the size of it compared to your mouth versus your eyes. So students tend to get a little bit large on features. And that's okay. So we're going to learn some techniques later on in the class about, how to really hone in on those proportions. So start, really looking at that, and then also keep pushing yourself on that sense of shadow and light, because that's what's really going to give your drawings more realism. So same thing with the hand. Pretty nice job. I think we're probably a tad bit small on the fingers, right? So if you were to measure from your wrist to the top of the palm, and then keep that, dimension, and then look at, the size of your fingers. Make sure that you can kind of tell. Some people have real long fingers, some people have shorter fingers. For example, my palm is actually about the same. No, my fingers are a little bit shorter. I've got tiny hands. So those are kind of things you want to keep looking at and kind of measuring, okay, and then, finding the length of one finger and then matching the length of the others based on that. And really start thinking about the individual pieces. I can see you're starting to kind of hint at the sense of knuckles, but really think of like the skeletal structure here. There's different bones, right? There's different segments. So break it down into smaller pieces, and that's going to help you get that sense of realistic proportion. And again, let's be pushing light and shadow here as well. Okay, let's look at your room drawings. So we've got a nice sense of proportion here, but then we would want to match all these lines of the windows, right? This would be the same, the bottom of the window would be the same as this line on the floor and on the top here. So these lines would all match up, and same with the table, but that's okay. This again is something that you're going to be able to look back at, because we're going to do linear perspective drawings, and I'm going to teach you, it's a really cool grid system that's going to teach you how to do these. And I love here that you took kind of the same, excuse me, image and repeated it over and over in the different line styles. So it kind of gives us a real good sense of, how these different styles work. So really nice work here. I think that you're going to be really impressed with what you can do over the next 8 weeks, and keep going with it.